All right, everyone. Well, we have reached the crazy stage in the Halloween event in Raid Shadow Legends, and this is Halloween Madness. There are 3 events that are all running at the same time right now, and the crazy thing is they all actually kind of work together, so you can get some absolutely insane efficiency with your energy right now in Raid Shadow Legends. So I wanted to go over today the absolute best way that you can do that. I'll go over some tips, some tricks, some pointers, and make sure that you guys are just getting as much done with your energy as you can right now, because when it comes to efficiency, this is the name of the game right now. There is a whole lot of stuff that you can get done at once. So if you guys are watching the video right as it's coming out or during the same day, maybe a day later, this is going to be the best time to do so, because in a couple of days, one of these events is going to end up going away, and unfortunately, you'll lose a bit of efficiency. So let's just get into what is actually happening right now in Raid Shadow Legends. So if you end up going to the news post, you go to the Frightening Fusion event, of course, this will go over all the different events. We still have a couple more to come after this, but as of right now, we actually have 3 events that are going on. So today, there were 2 events that were released. Now, the big one was this giant champion training event, and I'll go over the details of this. Very interesting. It's a 25,000 point champion training event. This was to be expected, though. I honestly thought it could have even been more points than that. The Fusion champion is actually going to be at a little less than 20,000 points. So once again, I talked about this before. I thought it could have even been as crazy as 30,000, maybe even 35,000 to get the champion. 20,000, this is pretty much in line with what everybody was thinking in order to end up getting this champion. So very similar to the Foley event. I'll go over the event. There are some other pretty good rewards with the actual giant champion training event, but the good news is that that's not the only thing that we have going on right now. There's actually 2 other events that are also happening right now, and they all work together. So not only will you be actually earning points for this champion training event, but you can also knock out 3 birds with 1 stone. I know I say that a lot, but this is the rare time I'm going to be able to say 3 things at once, because we also have a champion, not a champion chase tournament, we have a champion training tournament that is going on as well, and we still have a couple of days left of that Dungeon Divers event. So you have 3 different events, all with overlap, and they all actually work together. So I still haven't even gotten my 4,000 points for the Dungeon Divers. I think I'm at around 3,400. Let's see here. What do I have? 3,399 points. And I've been farming like crazy for the last couple of days. So I'm guessing a lot of you guys still probably don't have 4,000 points yet, which is great, because now you can also still get overlap with this event and the champion training event and tournament that's going on. So of course, with the Dungeon Divers, you're going to end up getting points from artifacts, but you still get points from the common artifacts that you get in the campaign. It's not as many points, but the campaign stages, first of all, they take less energy compared to the dungeon stages, and you're still going to end up racking up a pretty good amount of points from farming those. So you've got that going on, which has started a while ago. So you know, some people, a lot of you guys probably have already started that, but I'm guessing not many people have finished it. This is one of the ones that just started right now, and that is the champion training event. It's a big one. We have 10 days to actually end up finishing this event, and it makes sense because if you take a look at how many points you end up needing for this, 25,000. Now here's just a quick glance at the actual rewards. You can see pretty typical stuff until we actually end up getting to the really large point numbers. We have some more blue champions that are going to be needed for the fusion. You have that adjudicator there, ancient shard, another ancient shard. You have 4 ancient shards getting close to the end, so you can actually end up getting 6 ancient shards from this giant champion training event. You have a couple of the skill tomes as well, with the legendary tome at the end, and here is that epic champion right here at 19,400 points. So once again, pretty much what everybody was expecting. I don't think we were expecting the epic champion to be anywhere towards the beginning. That just wouldn't really make any sense. Makes sense that the rare champion is here towards the beginning, but for the epic, it's definitely going to be a pretty darn big grind. Now, the good news is, once again, you have 10 days in order to do this, so you don't have to rush it in a couple of days. And also, there are 3 events that you can get overlap with right now, so you definitely don't have to feel bad about using your energy right now. Not only are you going to be accomplishing points towards this event, but you're also going to be still getting points for that Dungeon Divers event, and we have one other thing that is going on right now as well, and that is going to be a tournament. Now, this one you don't quite have 10 days, you have a little less than 5 days, so keep in mind all this overlap stuff that I'm talking about with these events is going to be, once again, towards the start of when this video releases. So the sooner that you guys watch this and the sooner that you get started, the more efficient you are going to be able to use your energy. So we have this champion training tournament right here. Oh, one little thing as well that I didn't mention about the actual champion training event is it looks like we have a little bit of a spoiler here of what the 3 other new champions are. I caught this. I mean, obviously it's not confirmed, but they do match the actual profile in the news. If you guys take a look at it, if you go to the news section, coming soon, we've got Harvest Jack, of course, and then we have these 3 new champions. And of course, if you look at the actual champion training event, it matches their profile, so you get a little bit of an added sneak peek look at those. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, going back to the actual tournament that we have going on. Now, we have one of these champion training tournaments. These have been coming out a little bit more frequently recently, and I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not the biggest fan of these because the major aspect to these champion training tournaments is unfortunately not going to be leveling up champions in the campaign, but you have to actually level them up at the tavern. Now, this means that you're going to have to use your brews. You will still end up getting points by ranking up your champions, which is really nice. So even if you're just ranking up food, if you decide not to use brews, you will still end up getting points towards this. But if you want to get even more points, you are going to have to start using some brews. So that means that when it comes to all of these events that are going on, there is going to be kind of a right way to do this, and I guess you could say a wrong way or a less efficient way. And that is because the champion training events, not the tournament, the champion training event, you end up getting points no matter how you level up champions. You get points for this, so you don't have to worry about it. Brews campaign, it doesn't make a difference. But because of the champion training tournament, you only get points by ranking up champions. You can get a couple points from ascending as well, not really that many though, but you also end up getting points from brews. And as you guys probably know, you need more experience the higher levels you get when it comes to leveling up champions. Brews end up giving you a very specific amount of experience. So the way that you're going to want to go about doing these events as efficiently as you can, and this is really going to just be the best way to kind of go about doing all this stuff for the next couple of days while everything is running, is when it comes to your food champions, when it comes to leveling stuff up, starting at 3 stars, this is when you're going to want to start using your brews. So 3 stars, what you're going to want to do is use 1 brew. That's going to end up giving you, I believe, 9 levels here. Yes, 9 levels. So it goes from level 1 to level 10, which means you gain 9 levels. So you should get credit for 9 levels worth of experience, which means that you are, let's actually do this on one of the new champions here. All right. And I want to use a green brew here. I believe you end up getting 2 points per level, so this should end up giving me 18 points right here. All right, there we go. So you want to start at 3 stars. You want to end up using 1 brew. Now, if you have 4-star champions, then what you want to do is you want to possibly end up using 2 brews, because it's going to go up. The amount of points that you get per level is going to go up by 1 for each star. So at 3 stars, you end up getting 2 points per level. At 1 and 2 stars, you only actually end up getting 1 point per level. So that's kind of the point where it's probably not going to be worth using your brews unless you have a whole bunch of them and you just don't really care and you want to level stuff up. But anyway, that's totally fine. But if you're going for maximum efficiency, it's starting at 3 stars is when you're going to want to start using your brews. So at 3 stars, you want to use 1 brew. That'll end up giving you 18 points. At 4 stars, this is going to end up giving you 3 points per level. 5 stars is going to end up giving you 4 points per level. So obviously, as the stars go up, you're going to be able to use a few more brews and end up getting a few more points. Generally speaking, though, you want to use your brews when they're level 1, because that's when it's going to be easiest to actually end up getting the levels, and that's when you're going to end up getting the most efficiency for your brews. So you don't want to use your brews when your champions are really close to max level, because then, of course, you aren't going to be getting as many levels, and you aren't going to be getting as many points. So you get the general idea of that. Obviously, you can kind of adjust it a little bit how you want, depending on how many brews you have, how much energy you want to save. You know, there's obviously a few different ways you can go about this, but the most efficient way is starting at 3-star champions, use brews, and use them at level 1. So that is going to cover getting points for this champion training event. And as you can see, you need 7,500 for this one right here. Which might seem like a lot, but if you guys just use your brews and you are ranking up your food, by the time that you end up getting 25,000 points for this, you should have a whole bunch of points for this. You might not have 7,500 depending on how many brews you end up using, but you should definitely have the 1,875 and the 3,000 that you're going to need for the champions for the fusion. So anything after 3,000, it's not going to be required. It's just going to give you some relentless gear and a legendary tome. Obviously still nice. I think this is definitely a time where you're going to be able to get a lot of these rewards if you plan your resources and your energy out efficiently, but it's really just 3,000 that you need to end up getting for the fusion. If you are trying to go for the fusion for the champion training events, you might be able to get away with just going to 4,350. And the reason why I say that is because there is still going to be one other way that you can actually end up getting the Sue Firstborn. So as you can see, available from the champion training event, which is what we have going on, and available from the champion chase tournament, which is going to start on the 31st. So this is really the last big thing that we have, is this champion chase tournament that starts on the 31st. Now, I don't know how many points it's going to take. It could be risky, especially if there's no double rates event for chances of getting epics or legendaries from ancient shards. I would prefer to get this champion from the champion training event, just because that's something that you can farm with energy. But if you really feel like you can't end up getting those 20,000 points, there's still going to be another way that you can end up getting that Sue Firstborn. You will still have to end up getting that blue champion, though, because that is going to be a requirement for one of these fusions here. So besides these last couple events, we have one arena assault coming up, and I believe that's actually it. I think the last thing is the arena assaults, and then this last champion training tournament, which starts on October 31st. So this is kind of the peak of all the Halloween madness that is going on. Once again, kind of the main point of this video is efficiency. If you guys are watching this early on, you can end up getting a lot of stuff done right now while all 3 of these events are running at the same time. So best time to use your energy right now, everyone. Let me know what your plans are going to end up being. What do you guys plan on accomplishing? Are you going to go for all 25,000 points? Are you going to try to get the legendary tomes from the champion training tournament? How many points do you guys still have on the Dungeon Divers event? Even though it's not over yet, I'm 700 points to go, so I'm really happy I'm going to be able to actually get all this stuff done at once. This efficiency makes me very happy in Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but whenever I can do things super efficiently like this, it's always a nice feeling. So I'm going to leave it here, though. Thank you guys for watching, everyone. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and it helped out, consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to help out, tossing a quick like means a whole bunch as well. So thanks again, everyone, for all the support. Really appreciate it. And until next time, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.